used mine to download Mike Israetel's PhD thesis, which I read in its entirety.
Dr. Mike Israetel has had a whole documentary dropped on his ass. Essentially an expose of his PhD. It's already got 1 million views. It's dropped by Solomon. Some of you guys might know him. He's a big critiquer, if that's even a word, of Mike's work. Many of you may know that I've watched my videos before. I do not like Mike's content. I do not think he posts good stuff at all. I think much of it is for views. Many of his vids are clickbait, and especially recent videos have just been a pile of ass, to be completely honest. Not useful in very many aspects. He's had useful stuff before, but recently, very, very clickbaity. And as you know, he's bigger and stronger than Mike Menser, just in case you're wondering.
Who am I compared to Mike Menser? Well, real talk, I'm bigger than Mike Menser, stronger than Mike Menser, I'm more educated, I know more things than Mike Menser.
But Mike has sort of used his PhD as proof of concept, if you will, that he knows what he's talking about, because he's Dr. Mike Israetel. Doctor, that holds a lot of weight. You think a lot of effort goes into getting your doctorate, becoming a doctor. You know, you give people a certain level of respect when they have doctor in front of their name. That makes sense, because a lot of effort and work goes into getting that. But Solomon has dropped a whole ass, I think it's like an hour and 40 long video. Sorry, bit of an exaggeration. Hour and 10-minute video covering Mike's PhD, which is hilarious. I watched most of it in 2x speed because I'm not that unemployed. I am, but I'm not. He basically critiques Mike's whole thesis. I'm pretty sure this document was back from 2013, but he calls it a failure. He says it's unoriginal, and yeah, shits on it basically.
My conclusion is undeniable. Mike Israetel's PhD thesis is a failure. It's a work built on a non-existent research gap, lazily pursued with a poorly justified methodology, and culminating in findings that aren't just unremarkable, but are, by Mike's own admission, unoriginal.
And of course Greg Doucette has already dropped the 40-minute video where he just basically rambles the whole time and doesn't say a whole lot, but we know Greg, he likes to profit off of Mike. He's probably going to get a ridiculous amount of views, just like Solomon has, so you know what? Game's a game. But to be honest, it doesn't necessarily surprise me, considering Mike's videos, his level of content, the fact that his PhD isn't the highest quality thesis. It doesn't necessarily shock me that much, to be completely honest. It does, however, throw into question some of his other qualifications. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt?
Grammy roll. Black belt? Who give him that? We have to check that, mom.
But Mike has come out recently and essentially said that the document that Solomon just did his whole documentary on, hour and 10 minutes of just shitting on it, is actually in fact an old document, an old draft, a lot older than the final version of his PhD thesis or document that he submitted, and he accidentally misclicked and submitted the wrong thing, and that's how Solomon got his hands on it. Which, maybe I'm wrong on this, but surely whoever is, you know, checking these would notice that it's a completely old version, and if it's got this many errors in it and it's that low in quality, then it wouldn't pass through and he wouldn't get his doctorate until he submits the finalized version that's good enough in quality. I don't know, maybe at that point it's already been checked by the accreditor, you know, previous versions, so the final submission was just sort of a checkbox. Maybe that's sort of what Mike sounds like he's saying. But either way, he's basically saying that Solomon's whole video is based on a old document, so it doesn't hold a whole lot of value. Now, Solomon did edit his description of his video after he found out that this whole documentary was based on an old draft, and this is what he said. Mike Israetel has recently stated that the version of his dissertation that I reviewed was a draft uploaded to the university's official repository by mistake. He also graciously and publicly noted that my misapprehension that it was the final examined version was reasonable. My critique was of course based on the document published to an academic community at the time. The new information raises a different but equally perplexing set of questions about institutional quality control. If this was indeed a draft, then how is it possible for it to be officially archived and presented to the learned public as a final approved PhD thesis? Just spat everywhere. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. How is that able to get through if it's clearly so bad? It just got broken down for over an hour, which by the looks of thing was longer than he actually spent on his actual PhD. Stole that from Greg. Thanks, Greg. Didn't watch your whole video because it's 40 minutes of you rambling. But yeah, I don't mind Mike getting exposed. If this whole video was based on an old document, fair enough. Mike, with or without a PhD, I still think his information is not good. I still think his recent videos are low in quality, clickbaity, aren't very useful. Even if you're brand new to the gym, overwhelming. If you've been in the gym for ages, completely underwhelming. It doesn't even really fit in the middle ground. Overall, just not great. But yeah, let me know what you think. I thought it was pretty funny. Everyone in Mike's comments are glazing him, even Jeff. Really, Jeff? But yeah, fair enough, I guess. Peace.